So for texturing it, I'm just going to start texturing. So for texturing, I'm just using a lot of photo references, and then I do a lot of paint job using the, I'm going to show you, using the brushes in ZBrush, like a traditional sculpture, just kind of like an airbrush. And I can easily just use the standard brush and just changing the stroke to something like a color spray, for example. Well, first of all, I'm just going to paint this guy, let's say a green guy. So I start always with the dark colors, and then I'm just going to build up with the bright colors. So I'm just going to fill this guy with the green, and I'm going to pick a brighter green. And with the color spray, in a very low intensity, I can come here and start adding some variations to the brightness. And the color spray is going to give me a little bit of variation to the color also, not only the shape of the paintbrush. All right, I'm going to pick up more like a skin tone, orange color to the mouth, and going into the face a little bit. It's very dark in there, but I hope you guys can see it. Just gonna make it, probably make it brighter in here, in the material. There you go. All right, so let's make a more saturated color. So I'm kind of painting kind of the skin tone. Same thing, and that's why it's very important to like watch all the old school guys, the traditional guys, how they paint those masks, and use that as a reference to see how they treat the color and what they put some of the details in the color, the color that they use. That kind of stuff is very helpful, even though we're doing something digital. If we can bring some of that stuff back into our workflow, it's very cool. And some purple. And again, I think for a skin to look more believable, you gotta have some blues and purples in there. So that's why after I'm done with the more warm colors, I'm gonna start adding the cold colors in. So you can see just starting to break up the warm. Oops. And again, I'm just worrying about the face right now because we don't have a lot of time, but it's probably gonna be our final image. I'm gonna paint those teeth. Let me just say one thing. I'm just going to import some of the textures that I brought so we can start texturing that guy. I can import it as an alpha or as an actual texture. I'm just going to do texture mode right now. So if I import it right here, let's say this guy, this marble, I can bring it in as a spotlight. So add to spotlight, and it's going to bring it in like this. So I can position this guy right here, and I can start painting those textures into the model. So let's say I want this right there. Just having the RGB on, I can start having those textures in there. And I'm using Shift-Z to hide it and unhide it. And if you only press Z, you can use the wheel. And you can change the opacity so I can see what's going on behind it. And keep painting. Kind of like this.
Got a question right there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever had